Good morning, students. Myself, NEELAM RAHEJA. Students, I have sent you two videos on rational numbers. Hope you have seen those and understand the topic. In those videos, we have discussed what are rational numbers, what are the different properties of rational numbers like closure property, commutative property of all the four arithmetic operations, commutative property of addition, multiplication, um, subtraction and division. Then associative property and distributive property, additive inverse, multiplicative inverse and additive identities we have discussed. Now today we start the exercise. The first question of the exercise is using appropriate properties find the value of this expression. So to solve this question we have to recall the properties which we have studied. Now observe the terms in this expression. We see that the first and last term is having this number 3 by 5 common. So we can take 3 by 5 common from these two terms, or we can also take minus 3 by 5 because this term is having negative sign and this term is also having negative sign with it. So we can write it as minus 3 by 5 multiplied by 2 by 3, and here from the last term minus is taken common, so you have to write plus 1 by 6 and then take the LCM of the terms within the bracket. The LCM of 3 and 6 is 6. So we divide 6 by 3, you get 2 and that is to be multiplied with the numerator, you get 4. Then 6 divided by 6, you get 1 and that is to be multiplied with the numerator and you get 1. Then simplify the expression within the bracket first, that is 5 by 6. 5 gets cancelled and 3 to 6. So your answer is minus 1 by 2. Here in the first step we have used the distributive property, that is A cross B plus C equal A cross B plus A cross C. In this expression these two terms together they are of this form and we have used this form to start it. The second part of this question is similar, and again you observe here that from the first and the last term you can take 2 by 5 common, that is you can apply distributive property here and then you can do it like the first part. Now the second question is write the additive inverse of the following. Additive inverse of any number means that number which when added to the given number gives you the additive and identity, that is 0. And in the video we have discussed that the additive inverse of any rational number is a by b is negative of it, that is minus a by b, means negative of it is its additive inverse. Like additive inverse of 2 is minus 2 because 2 and minus 2 when added gives you 0, that is the additive identity. So the additive inverse of 2 by 8 is minus 2 by 8. Of minus 5 by 9, negative of it means minus of minus 5 by 9, that is 5 by 9. This minus 6 by minus 5, negative you can cancel, it becomes 6 by 5. So its additive inverse will be minus 6 by 5. Additive inverse of this will be negative of it, and when you take negative it becomes minus 2 by minus 9, or you can write 2 by 9. Additive inverse of 19 by minus 6 is 19 by 6. Now the third question is verify this. Question number 3. Verify minus of minus x equal x. In the first part, we are given x equal 11 by 15. Now take the left hand side. In the left hand side, put the value of x, that is 11 by 15. Then my negative multiplied by negative, it becomes positive, that is 11 by 15. And 11 by 15 is the given number, which so you can write it equal to x. It means you have started with this, that is minus of minus x, and it becomes equal to x. So we have proved that minus of minus x equal x. Now question number 4 is find the multiplicative inverse. Multiplicative inverse of a number is that number which when multiplied with it gives you multiplicative identity, and we have discussed that multiplicative identity of rational numbers is 1, and the multiplicative inverse of any rational number is its reciprocal, like 2 by 3, its multiplicative inverse is 3 by 2, because when both are multiplied together you will get the result 1. So here the multiplicative inverse of minus 13 is 1 by minus 13. Of minus 13 by 19 is reciprocal of it, that is 19 by minus 13. Multiplicative inverse of 1 by 5 is 5 by 1. Multiplicative inverse of this number is 8 by minus 5 multiplied by 7 by minus 3. Multiplicative inverse of this number becomes 1 by minus 1, or you can write minus 1 itself, multiplied by 5 by minus 2. Multiplicative inverse of minus 1 is 1 by minus 1. You can write it minus 1 also. Now question number 5. We have to state the property which is used in these. In this first expression, the two numbers, they are multiplied, and in the second expression, again the order is changed of the first two numbers, and the result is same, that is minus 4 by 5. Means when the order does not affect the result when you multiply the two numbers. This property, it is called commutative property of multiplication. In the second part also, the two numbers, they are multiplied, and here the order is changed, but the result is same in both the cases. So it is again the commutative property of multiplication. In the third, the product of these two numbers is 1, that is the multiplicative identity. So these two numbers, they are multiplicative inverse of each other. Now the sixth question, multiply 6 by 13 by the reciprocal of minus 7 by 16. It means first you have to find out the reciprocal of minus 7 by 16. The reciprocal of it is 16 by minus 7. Reciprocal of minus 7 by 16 is 16 by minus 7. So the product of 6 by 13 and 16 by minus 7 is 6 cross 16 by this. The two rational numbers, they are multiplied by multiplying their numerators and together and denominators together. So it is 96 by minus 91. Next question is, tell what property allows you to compute this. Here three numbers, they are multiplied in the first expression. Last two numbers, they are multiplied first and the result is then multiplied with the first number. In the second expression, first two numbers, they are multiplied first within the bracket and the result is then multiplied with the third one. So this property, it is called associative property of multiplication. In eighth question, we have to check whether 8 by 9 is the multiplicative inverse of this. So to check this, we have to multiply the two numbers and check whether the result is 1 or not, because the multiplicative inverse we have discussed is that number which when multiplied with the given number gives you the multiplicative identity, which is 1 in case of rational numbers. So first we convert the mixed fraction which is given, that is minus 1 by 8, into improper fraction. It becomes minus 9 by 8. Then multiply 8 by 9 with minus 9 by 8. So it becomes minus 1, which is not equal to 1. So we can say that minus 8 by 9 is not the multiplicative inverse of, not the multiplicative inverse of minus 9 by 8. Similar is the ninth question. This you can try yourself. Now the 10th question is the rational number, write the rational number that does not have a reciprocal, and that is 0, because its reciprocal is 1 by 0, which is not defined. Second part, the rational numbers that are equal to their reciprocals, that they are 1 and minus 1, because their reciprocals are also 1 and minus 1. The rational number that is equal to its negative, that is 0, because its negative is also a 0. This 11th question, students, 0 has no reciprocal. We have discussed in the first part above. The numbers, this is also discussed in the second part, that is 1 and minus 1 are their own reciprocals. Then the reciprocal of minus 5 is 1 by minus 5. Reciprocal of 1 by x is x. The product of two rational numbers is always a rational number. This we have discussed in closure property of multiplication. The reciprocal of positive rational number is always a positive. Thank you, students. Now you can do this exercise and if there is any problem you can ask.